7 members of one family were killed last night in an accident between a train and a minibus that broke through the barrier to the train tracks near Kiryat Gat. By morning, the names of the family members were in the media. The father, Aryeh Bernstein, 43, from Beitar Illit, his wife Rebecca, 41, and their children, Yochanan Bernstein, 16, Hannah, 14, Mordechai Aharon, 9, their daughter Malka, Mali Gottstein, 21, who was pregnant at the time, and her baby, Mordechai Aharon Gottstein, a year and a half. This was one of the most difficult events that I had ever witnessed. Not just for me, for all the ZAKA volunteers. This was about Aryeh, who just a day before gave me a lifelong lesson about caring for a young mother. And now we have to care for him and an entire family. I don't think I will ever get over this. On my way home, I received a message to my pager about a serious car accident in which a minibus and a train were involved. As I'm driving, more information was being released about the accident. Suddenly, there was silence on the line. And then I hear one of the volunteers say, "It's Aryeh." I knew Aryeh Bernstein for many years, almost as long as ZAKA has been around. I immediately recognized Aryeh as someone you can count on. He's not someone that volunteers for a single assignment. He is a volunteer who I can give an entire project to and sleep well at night. I know that whenever I needed someone to cheer me up, Aryeh Bernstein was the one to call, no matter what time. He was a Hasid. He was wearing the traditional hat for Shabbat. They must have been on their way to spend Shabbat somewhere. It's a lot of noise. As I was walking toward the scene, I could see pieces of the car scattered from the intensity of the crash. Rabbi Aryeh was outside, his body resting on a stretcher alongside the car wreck. The organization's management asked that we gather to organize a memorial for the deceased and his family. That's what we are going to do now. I asked that we gather along where the accident took place in an organized and respectable manner on the train tracks in order to acknowledge, demonstrate, and enhance within ourselves our identification with the family. Yitgadal v'yitgadash. I wanted to say, Rabbi Aryeh, what are you doing here? We are used to working side by side, but on the other side of the matrix. We are those who care, not those who are taken care of. We have to be on this side to take charge of the scene. Those killed and injured, care for the families. What? Get up and do your job. However, there was one survivor, the son-in-law, Dutzi Gottstein. Thanks to the hard work of ZAKA's rescue volunteers, Dutzi survived, despite the severity of his injuries. I woke up in Barzilai Hospital. All my friends were there. Everyone was there, and at that point, I didn't know anything. I thought that just as I was injured, another was injured. 2 more were injured. Someone remained. I didn't know they were all gone. On Sunday morning, Hananya Zolik arrived. Hananya Zolik started saying, "Listen, this one didn't survive. He caught my wife. She didn't survive." I said to him, "What about the rest?" I said, "What about my son Moti?" So he said to me, "He didn't survive either." And that's how he started telling me, this one didn't survive, this one didn't survive, this one didn't survive. In short, he spoke about the entire family. No one survived the accident. His wife, son, her parents, and siblings were all killed in this atrocious accident. Beside him, no one had survived. They were 3 wonderful years of my life, and it was over. It was cut off. less than his complete recovery, the psychological rehabilitation of Ducci Goldstein amazed all of his acquaintances. When I hear the news that no one survived, it means that I felt then that my world was destroyed. I have nothing to return to in this world. I also asked myself, why didn't he take me as well? I was in the same van. I was there. That's what I asked myself as well. But at that instant, a strong wind of faith came and told me that I had to stay here, to strengthen others, to continue your life. You will marry, and God willing, build a home and raise generations, and God is with you. The only survivor from that horrible accident vowed to devote his life to the organization that does pure chesed shel emet, true virtue. Before his eyes was the unwritten will of his dear and great father-in-law, a man who gave his life to honor the deceased and save lives. He saw volunteering as his mission, as the sole survivor of an entire Jewish family that was erased, and thus to carry proudly the torch of virtue of his father-in-law, the legacy of an entire family. God forbid someone goes through an experience like I did, any experience. ZAKA's family, of which I am a part of, I will be able to come and say, listen, I went through something similar, and there is life after death. Today, ZAKA is Dutsi's home. The volunteers are his family. His difficult past is what has turned him into a volunteer whom ZAKA rely on. Dutsi had a large family today, the family of ZAKA volunteers.